In the vastness of space, beyond the comforting atmosphere of Earth, lies an environment teeming with unseen dangers. Radiation in space is one of the greatest threats to life as we know it. From the radiation of our sun to the high-energy cosmic rays that travel across the universe, space is far from the safe haven we experience on Earth. But could this space radiation have a positive effect on life? Could it speed up evolution and alter animal DNA in ways we never imagined? To understand this, we must first delve into the science of radiation itself. Space radiation consists of particles such as protons, electrons, and heavy ions that travel at near light speed. Unlike the gentle radiation we experience on Earth, which is filtered by our atmosphere and magnetic field, space radiation is powerful and potentially harmful. When these particles collide with living organisms, they can break apart molecules and damage cells, causing mutations. Most of the time, these mutations are harmful, leading to disease or even death. But occasionally, a mutation can be beneficial, creating a change in an organism's DNA that might give it an advantage in its environment. This is how evolution works on Earth. Through genetic mutations, species adapt and evolve to better survive their environments. But what if the radiation of space could accelerate this process? Could the constant bombardment of radiation speed up the rate of mutations, pushing evolution into overdrive? This idea is not as far-fetched as it might sound. On Earth, certain organisms have already shown incredible resilience to radiation. One of the most famous examples is the tardigrade, or water bear. These microscopic creatures are known for their ability to survive extreme conditions, including the vacuum of space and intense radiation. Tardigrades can enter a state called cryptobiosis, where their metabolism shuts down, and they can withstand radiation doses that would kill most other life forms. What if this ability wasn't just a survival mechanism, but a result of evolutionary pressure from radiation? Could animals in space, subjected to constant radiation exposure, evolve similar abilities to resist or even harness the power of radiation? The potential for radiation to drive evolution is rooted in the concept of genetic mutations. Mutations occur naturally when DNA is copied during cell division, but environmental factors, like radiation, can cause additional changes to the DNA sequence. Space radiation, with its high energy, is far more likely to cause these mutations than the radiation we encounter on Earth. In fact, scientists have been studying the effects of radiation on DNA for decades, and they've discovered that it can lead to significant genetic changes. In the early days of space exploration, researchers were concerned about the effects of radiation on astronauts. They feared that prolonged exposure to space radiation could cause cancers or other genetic disorders. But as we've studied radiation more, we've begun to understand its potential role in evolution. For animals, the effects of radiation could be more than just harmful. They could provide a source of evolutionary pressure. In nature, evolutionary pressures, such as environmental changes or predation, force animals to adapt. Radiation could act as a new form of pressure, pushing animals to evolve more rapidly to survive in space environments. But it's not just space radiation that could influence evolution. It's the way that radiation interacts with an animal's environment. For example, animals living on a space station or on the moon would be exposed to different types and levels of radiation compared to those on Earth. On the moon, with no atmosphere to shield against radiation, life would face a constant bombardment of cosmic rays and solar radiation. These animals might evolve to become more resilient to radiation, possibly developing specialized proteins or enzymes that can repair DNA damage more effectively. Some animals on Earth already have remarkable abilities to repair their DNA. Certain species of bacteria can fix their genetic code when it's damaged by radiation, and some human cells also have similar repair mechanisms. In space, these abilities could be enhanced or even lead to the development of entirely new genetic traits. Could space radiation create a new form of evolution, one driven by genetic resilience and adaptation to extreme environments. What if animals exposed to space radiation began to evolve in ways that helped them survive not just radiation, but other environmental stresses as well? For instance, animals might develop thicker skin or protective exoskeletons to shield themselves from radiation. Others might evolve faster metabolic rates to cope with the constant pressure of radiation on their bodies. In some cases, space radiation could even trigger beneficial mutations that allow animals to process radiation as an energy source. This would be similar to how plants on Earth harness sunlight through photosynthesis, but in this case, radiation could become the fuel for life. Radiation might also lead to accelerated aging, forcing species to evolve more rapidly to reproduce before they are affected by DNA damage. Such accelerated evolution would likely result in faster generations, with animals adapting more quickly to their changing environment. But radiation's impact on evolution is not a simple one-way street. Just as space radiation can lead to beneficial mutations, it can also cause harmful changes that hinder survival. In high doses, radiation can cause irreversible DNA damage, leading to cancers, developmental disorders, or complete sterilization. In these cases, animals might not survive long enough to evolve in a way that would allow them to thrive in the radiation-heavy environment. This balance between harmful and beneficial mutations is at the core of evolution. Natural selection weeds out harmful mutations and promotes beneficial ones, helping animals adapt to their environments. In space, the challenge of surviving radiation could create new forms of selection, with only the most resilient animals surviving long enough to reproduce. While space radiation may push evolution into overdrive, it would also create a high-stakes environment where only the strongest mutations would prevail. This could lead to the emergence of new, highly specialized species, capable of surviving in the harshest environments imaginable. The evolutionary pressures of space could even lead to entirely new forms of life that is not bound by the same rules we see on Earth. The possibility that space radiation could speed up evolution opens up a new realm of scientific exploration. Could animals in space develop new abilities and traits that we can't even imagine? As we continue to send humans and animals into space, we may one day see firsthand how space radiation drives evolution. Future space missions could provide valuable insights into how animals adapt to the extreme conditions of space. With the right research, we may one day harness the power of space radiation to guide evolution in ways that benefit life on Earth. For now, space radiation remains a fascinating and mysterious force, capable of shaping the future of life on Earth and beyond. By studying how radiation impacts animal DNA, we may discover a new frontier of evolution, one shaped by the infinite possibilities of the cosmos. Space radiation may seem like a threat to life, but it could also be the catalyst for a new chapter in the story of evolution. If life can adapt to the harshest conditions on Earth, could it also adapt to the extremes of space? The answer lies in the uncharted territories of evolution, where radiation could hold the key to the future of life, both on Earth and in the far reaches of the universe.